minus, multiply, and divide. Now, relative to each of these keys, I'm going to add the corresponding values, and I do that using the colon symbol. So the value for the key plus is going to be the function add, and then I add a comma, and I can do this for all 4 of my functions. Again, remembering not to trigger the functions because we're storing it and we're not using it, so we don't want the parentheses. So let me finish that for the rest of them, and finally for divide. So now we've got all 4 of these functions for our calculator stored inside a dictionary called operations. Now, just as we're able to trigger a function that's stored under a variable name, as you saw before, we can do the same with these functions stored inside our dictionary. So the final to do that I'm going to ask you to do before we let you go and do some independent work building this project is to use the dictionary operations to perform the calculations. So I want you to try out multiply, and I want you to multiply 4 by 8, and to do this using the dictionary. So see if you can figure out how to do this using what we've covered so far in today's lesson, and also your knowledge of how to use dictionaries and how to access their values through their keys. Pause the video. If you need a hint, go back to the lesson on dictionaries and see if you can figure it out by yourself without watching the solution. Pause the video now. Okay, so you might remember that the way that we access a value from a dictionary is we first tap into the name of the dictionary, we add a set of square brackets, and then inside the square brackets we type the key word for word. So in this case, if we want to multiply, our multiply function is stored under the key, which is this asterisk. So now, if I go ahead and just print this value as it is, you'll see that I get a function called multiply. So that doesn't give me any results, but if this part is equivalent to this, then that means this is equivalent to this function. So now if I want to use it, I just need to add the parentheses straight afterwards, and you can see my PyCharm hints already knows what I'm trying to do, and it's asking me for n1 and n2. So I want to multiply 4 by 8, so I'll just type 4, 8, and then now if I run this code, you'll see that it's taken the 4 and the 8, and it has applied the correct operation, which is multiply, and put them inside this function to return the value 32, which then replaces this entire function call and then gets printed out into the console. So now that we figured out how to do this, the rest is up to you. So take a look at the bullet points for the functionality that we need for this calculator, and look at the demo software to see what you need to build, and then pause the video and using the starting file, complete the project by yourself. Pause the video and complete this project.